It's gonna be one of them ones. Yeah, man. So we digging into Parker's blueprint. Yeah. The blueprint of success for Parker. Now, super important what we talking about, because this is energized by my brother Luke, because I think he does an amazing job of research, and sometimes I go behind him.
In a specific order, so they start. Not anymore.
Because everybody loves to talk about Vic Fangio, right? Vic Fangio, right? We understand how important he is in being the architect and the guy, right? We get it. But Lou had a better idea. He said, you know what? I'm going to start looking around at other Vic trees. Guys that was at the Vic tree that's running a similar system or the same system. And we're going to look and we're going to figure out, okay, what's working with a new coach or a newer coach that's fresh from the tree. Because this one is even better, because when you look at Coach Ejiro, you see that he was also the defensive coordinator at Denver with Parker. So when you know that, then you can say, okay, let's start looking at things that's working over there that's also going to be similar to what we're going to see over here. So when we can put that together, then we can recommend what's best for the Dallas Cowboys based on what's already working, right? Because see, a lot of us have theories on what to do and what's best moving forward, especially on building the staff. But we got to remember that there was a guy before that was also a new DC that's from the tree. And when we can look at that, now we can say, okay, what's working? What's not working? And so we go get down to that. Let me first make sure I got y'all where I can see y'all comments. Now, this required a lot of research too. So don't take this work light, because I had to really drill down on history. I had to really drill down on the true, was this a guy that's really born in the light of Christian Parker? So let me play this clip, and then y'all tell me, are they made of the same brass? Listen.
Yesterday they were saying, Frank was saying that you guys will run a 3-4. What have you seen in this roster, and what pieces do you see being moved, and most importantly, how will you use someone like Jeremy Chin?
I think foundationally, Vic Vance, Mike Pettin, Coach Elko, Ejiro Evero all came out of a 3-4 structure. I think that once you get past that, from the fronts you build and the coverages you do and the personality on third down, red zone, you definitely have a mentality as a play caller, but I think that it's still going to be designed around the players that you have.
So with that said,
so you notice he talked about it being designed around the players that you have. Both of them are also functioning of Vic Fangio's 3-4 base. Okay, so keep listening. Now let's listen to them talk about the nickel. Listen.
How important is the nickel position now in this modern day NFL?
Oh, it's critical. It's critical, because that's a guy that is it's got to be a coverage guy, obviously matching receivers. He's got to be able to play in the run game. The way that people are jet motion and stuff like that, he becomes a linebacker pretty quickly, and so very important position.
You've had pretty talented nickels at most of your spots in the NFL. How important is that piece to you?
Very important. Yeah, very important. That guy, he's a corner sometimes, he's a safety sometimes, he's a backer sometimes, he's a defensive end when he's blitzing. You want to have a guy who has natural instincts and ability to feel the game and play football. He's usually a guy who, if you were playing football on a Saturday afternoon in the neighborhood, he's your first-round draft pick, just because he feels the game naturally. So that's definitely an important dynamic of the defense.
Are they aligned? Are they aligned on 3-4? Are they aligned on nickel? Yes. Keep listening.
Defense.
Gene. Ejiro with Panthers.com. You've mentioned a lot about kind of, matching the scheme to the players versus the players to the scheme. Can you kind of take me through your balancing act there? Are you kind of focused on making the players fit, making the scheme fit the players? Just kind of take me through that.
Yeah. So like when you first come in and you take the job, it's my job. It's the defensive coach's jobs, working along with the personnel people. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we really understand what all of these players do well, and they're at this level. They're on this team because they have certain skill sets that are very good, and we want to figure that out. And as we put our defense together, obviously there's going to be a framework from where we start off at in terms of what we've done in the past in Denver. But at the end of the day, it's like we're not going to ever ask guys to do things they can't do well.
Once again, you're hearing that same language. We're not going to ask guys to do what they don't do well. We're going to design our defense around them and what the players are. Let's see if Parker talking like that too in terms of matching scheme to players.
So.
And then are you more of a guy that falls under the line of thinking of building a scheme around the players or acquiring players to fit the scheme?
I think you build it around the players. Of course, you want to have your core principles and foundational beliefs, but as you kind of move forward in the process, what do your guys do well?
Are they aligned? So we see the 3-4 alignment, we see the nickel alignment, we see the match scheme alignment.
How can you put good players in highlighted positions? How can you create one-on-ones for certain guys? How you can protect certain guys? If we can win on blitzes on a running back, then we're going to blitz a lot. If we got good man-to-man corners, we're going to play man. If we have guys that are better with zone vision, we're going to play more zone. So, you want to build a package that has diversity and scheme, and then you want to, tailor it to the players that you have.
Same thing. The exact same thing. They talking like, am I tripping, or are they talking like, or is Parker talking like he was a good student? Huh? Like, can I keep it real? When I look at them side by side in initial press conferences, do y'all not hear and see the same things?
And of course, there are schematic fits, but I think the really good players are the ones that you can't peg them in a certain scheme, and that's the only way they can play football.
Diving a little bit deeper into that, your scheme, can you tell me a little bit about it and how it's going to fit with this Panthers team?
Yeah, we'll be a base 3-4 defense. We'll be multiple in our sub packages, but at the end of the day, it's like I never want to come into a situation and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. I always want to have the mindset of these are the players that we have. What do they do well, and kind of work from that direction. So
keep hearing the same thing.
Christian, obviously everyone wants to know what kind of defense do you want to bring to the Cowboys?
Multiple?
Yeah, well, the first thing is we're going to be multiple. I think that whenever you form a defensive structure, it's about the players that you have. So core principles, we'll be a 3-4 by nature, but 4-3 spacing will be appropriate, 4-2-5 in nickel, different front structures, coverages behind it. But I would say being multiple is probably the most important thing about it.
The front end, but what you start learning is that the scheme is a big part of it, but so much of it is just organizing, right? You're organizing your staff, you're organizing the players, you're responsible for the entire defense, and so in order to have efficiency and operate at a high level, you got to make sure that you're operating at a high level. So.
Mm-hmm. And how do you start that, just coming in here in the building the first few days? What are the things that are important to you?
Well, first thing is learn the roster. So, obviously some of the players, like the Derek Browns and the Brian Burns and the J.C. Horns, you know those guys automatically, right? And it's really learning the rest of the roster, learning what they do well, because so much of our defense is not about like my scheme, it's about putting these guys in great position to be at their very best. And so that's what we're trying to get done.
Yeah, it's so obvious. Like, there's no way you can listen to Coach Evero and not see that Parker was his student with Vic. Because obviously we know Vic was, everybody talk about Vic, but the person that sounds the closest to Parker is Coach Evero. Coach Evero, who was his defensive coordinator at Denver, running the same scheme, multiple nickel design, the exact same way, where your nickel is going to be all encompassing right? Now we talking about a defense that's designed around what your players do well. They are literally saying the exact same things. And I'm showing one with the initial press conference. I'm showing the other guy in the initial press conference saying the exact same thing. So then I got to ask the question, are they going to pretty much run pretty much the same defense? It's pretty obvious they are.
Charlotte Observer, just on a philosophical level, why do you think a 3-4 as a base defense is better suited in the NFL than a 4-3?
Well, I just think from the standpoint of protections, you just don't know if you're going to have a 4-down structure or a 4-man rush structure. You don't know where that extra rusher is coming from. So it's that extra level.
And you hear Lou talk about that a lot. Shout out to my brother Lou. On the advantages of the 3-4. My boy talk about this all the time.
That the offense has to go through to figure out what you're doing. And, I think a lot probably too much gets made about 2-3-4 versus 4-3 because the way the NFL is trending, you only play so few downs of base defense. So most of the time you're playing sub defense, which a lot of people are about the same.
So let me ask y'all a question. Is this one of the best guys to look at and learn from as he's starting his career path on the defensive coordinator? Would that make sense to look at him and look at how his staff is progressing? Huh? Wouldn't it, if we just using our common sense, wouldn't this be the guy to say, okay, let's look at his 4 years as defensive coordinator. Let's see what he's done well, and let's see what he has also failed on. Because if we can do that, now we can say, what's Parker's best blueprint, and we can use him as a model of what to do and what not to do. We have literally two men saying the exact same things on nickel, on the base, and my boy say great find. Now this was Lou. Lou told me about this, and I did more research. But Lou was the one that put me on this, because Lou was like, bro, I'm finna go dig into these other trees of Vic Fangio, and I want to see what they paths was like. And I was like, man, that's a good idea. And he came back and he was like, shit, I just found one, Evero. I was like, damn. So Lou put me on this. I got to give my brother credit. So as I was now cutting them up, because now I add my skills, me, I'm a detective. So I'm going to cut you up. I'm going to put y'all side by side. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to see what your theory is. And as I was doing that, I was like, damn, Lou hit this. So I ain't gonna steal my brother thunder. This is a great person to now model and watch and learn from. Hence why I'm doing this particular show on the blueprint of Parker, because we hearing the exact same framework. And it's better this way because guess what? Both of them are discipled by Vic Fangio. And anywhere you do research, you see. Now, what's most important when you do your research, what you see is it's also fully explained who the major influences are of the coaches. So like if you just do any, and just like I did here, I said, who is Coach Evero's tree? Just a simple question, right? First thing they say on defense, Vic Fangio. He's considered a descendant of the Fangio coaching tree due to his heavy use of the 3-4 base system and quarters coverage principles that Fangio popularized. So I think we have our guy. Would you agree? Would you agree we have the guy to say, okay, what are you doing well? What's working? What's not working? Because you're running the same system. Isn't that a fair thing to do? If we trying to say, okay, what's best for our coach? Why don't let's look at a new coach that's from that tree and see what he's going through. So let's build the blueprint, shall we? So as we start to build the blueprint, there's something else that you clearly see in all three systems. Number one, you see foundationally one tech. That's the foundation of all the systems. Let's keep it real now. That's the foundation, having the meanest, nastiest one tech you can buy. Now, isn't it funny when you look at the original, when you look at the Jedi Master, who are the Eagles and who did the Eagles make sure that they paid? And who are they shopping? Ooh, who did the Dallas Cowboys get rid of? Huh? Do you want answers?
You want answers?
Huh? Ooh. We start looking at some blueprints. So when I look at the blueprint, wow. Who's Coach Evero's? Derek Brown. Who's Parker's? Quentin Williams. So now that I have a working model of a coach to compare my coach to and say, okay, what's the foundational blueprints of my coach? What is the real philosophies that you can see mirrored through all three? What do you see mirrored through all three? What's something that's the obvious building blocks and foundational pieces of those guys? So I hope y'all ready for this next part, because this next part, it gets real. You got to make sure before I talk about this next part, you got to make sure you can't handle the truth. I'm so dead ass when I say that. You got to make sure you the fan that can handle the truth, and you want answers, because if you don't, just tune out. Because I did something that was very interesting, and it painted a picture that I wasn't even expecting to see. And I'm going to show you that I did this organically and I didn't manipulate this. Okay. So stay with me. Okay. Hold on. Why this music playing? Hold on. Let me turn this music real quick. Let me do this. Yeah. All right. I got the music acting right now. Y'all ready? This next part gonna get wild. Hold on to your seats. I'm dead ass. All right, so check this out. So now that we have a guy to model our coach from, right, which makes sense, right? We see that they saying the same thing. We see that Parker is from him as well as Coach Fangio. Okay. Now watch this. I did some on Chat GPT as I was doing my research. I asked Chat a simple question, very simple question, because I noticed something. I noticed that they had Burns. You see Burns in that Carolina blue? I was like, wait a minute. So then I did some research. I say, so Burns came from them? Burns came from the Panthers. He was there when Coach Evero was there year one. Stay with me. Stay with me. So as I was doing research, I said, okay, something happened. Okay. What happened? So then I, go do my research like you're supposed to. And you say, okay, when did Brian Burns get traded? He got traded March 11, 2024. What happened? And so now I say, okay, interesting, right? So then I go back to chat and I ask chat a question. I said, what did Carolina Panthers do to replace Brian Burns? Just a simple question. Now, I didn't try to prompt it. I didn't lead it. I just asked, what did they do to replace him? They had him. Now, if y'all don't know, he currently has 16.5 sacks with the Giants. In case you don't know, he's currently with the Giants. He's one of the reasons they looking at likely getting rid of Thibodeau. So I'm over here like, what happened? Right? I don't follow them. I'm just doing my research. And then I asked this question, and this is what it said. When the Carolina Panthers traded Brian Burns, they did not replace him with one single elite player. I didn't even ask for that. Shit. Instead, this gets scary. Instead, they tried to rebuild the edge room with multiple cheaper veteran draft picks. But later big signing, and the results have been mixed. Oh. Ooh. So I look into it. I'm like, so they got rid of Brian Burns, who we know is a top tier edge rusher. Oh shit, boss. Ain't that what you was talking about? A war daddy? Yes. And they got rid of him. What happened? What happened? So then I'm over here. Listen, I asked only one question too. I said, what did Carolina Panthers do to replace Brian? I asked one question, and chat went crazy. The first attempt they called it veteran patchwork.
You can't handle the truth. Take it easy on my back.
Guess who they patchwork was? Jadeveon Clowney, DJ Wanham, Chason. Oh, fuck. What was the result? Now, listen, I just asked, what did they do to replace him? That's all I asked. Pass rush struggled badly. Clowney led the team. Oh, who does that sound like? Who does that sound like? So their first attempt at trying to replace the War Daddy was a committee. Who sound like they trying to do that now? Oh, your Cowboys. So the result was the pass rush struggled badly. This is what they said. That tells you how much losing Burns hurt. Oh, God, take it easy on my back.
Take it easy on my back.
And my brother say, I wish we had Carolina's defense from last year. We go take a closer look at that, sir. We go take a closer look at that. You might not want what Carolina did last year, because to be honest, Carolina did what we are pushing for. Ooh, let me turn off the music and say that again. Carolina did what we are currently pushing for with Parker. Carolina with committee. Let me ask you a question. Is that what we're pushing for now? I'm just asking the question. Are we pushing for that as a fan base right now? Or are we pushing for a war daddy? I'm just asking a simple ass question. What are we doing? I'm going to show y'all the results of this numerically as well. I'm going to also show you the results of this in the playoffs, and it's not good. So when we say we want to be the Panthers, make sure you know what you're asking for. Number 3, this was their other strategy. What strategy? Their second attempt, because they tried, because he's been a defensive coordinator now for 3 years. They tried to draft. Damn. Common sense. What are we saying we need to do right now, common sense? Just draft, boss. We have no issues. Just go to the draft. There's no need to have a war daddy. There's no need. Just, you can fix it in the draft. This is what it said with that. They picked 2 premium picks. Anything in the top 9 is considered premium. So they added them to the rotation, and it said this shows the plan shifted. Cheap rookies plus rotation instead of 1 star. I did not ask this question about Burns. I did not. Hold on real quick. He said, nah, but we ain't trying to be the last year Giants neither. Hold on real quick. You sure, sir? Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to be the Giants from last year? Have you looked up Burns, sir? Have you looked up what he doing over there, sir? I'm asking a real question. I'm not even trying to embarrass you. I'm asking a real question. Do you know? You sure you don't want a guy with 16 sacks? Oh, I get it. What he likely saying is they didn't win. I ain't talking about a team. I'm talking about the impact of a unit to your defense. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, with Burns, as he was a young Burns, they was ranked 27 in pass rush. They got rid of him. They went to 30th and 31st. I'm going to show you that. Let me go back to this. So they tried cheap rookies, rotation instead of 1 star. And they reset again, move on from Clowney to save money, open up snaps for your younger players. The same stuff we're hearing. Let's open up some snaps for Donovan Ezraku. Let's do that. We can give those reps to Donovan Ezraku. And this is why I'm saying don't do that. Don't trust a year 2 Donovan Ezraku, please. Please don't. This is why I'm saying that. Because guess what we can do? We can look at a coach that's running the same system, using the exact same terms, multiple, adapting his scheme to his players, literally talking as if they're brothers. You could swap them out on a press conference and they would sound just the same. But yet, when you look at one of the coaches losing his war daddy, it affected that defense. Now, that front, guess what? Dope. Oh my God. And see, Chauncey, you said it best, bro. Chauncey, see, this is why I love the people that's of this channel. They get it, and they get it quick. Yeah. And see, I'm answering your question. My brother say, what's wrong with drafting edge? This is a good question. What's wrong with drafting edge? Because I'm showing you history, which I've been saying a lot, that it usually take anybody on any part of the trenches about 3 years before they hit their maturity. And I'm showing you the history that a coach that's just like our coach, who have the same blueprint as our coach, is currently struggling because he went that route with premium rookies, second and third round picks. Let me go ahead and get to the point because I looked them up. Both of them was very womp. And I'm talking about in year 2. In year 2, Nick, who they drafted, only had 5 sacks. And then Princely, who they drafted, had 1.5. This is also exactly what Okoye said. If y'all really watched the debate, he said 2 sacks for a rookie, that's normal. That's what Sweat did. That's what Chason did. Y'all heard that? That's my point of why we shouldn't do that. If we trying to take advantage of a certain guy's window, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't go with the trust the young guy plan. You can almost not get a better example than what I'm showing you. You almost cannot. 2 coaches from the same guy saying the same thing. The only difference is how one of the guys are supplied. Now, isn't it funny that we're hearing rumors right now that Philly is open to trade A.J. Brown for Crosby? Oh, shit. Damn. They value what's supposed to be valued. How many times we go watch Vic try to get the best pass rusher before we figure out that the Jedi Master actually wants premier pass rush? He made a run at Myles Garrett. He made a run at Micah. They are now making another run at Crosby. They was willing to potentially trade Carter. Now they saying get rid of the number 1, something we would never consider in Dallas. But when I say, listen, bro, positional value is written in stone. It's written in stone. Oh, boss, you can't even consider that. How would you even consider? Because it's written in stone. And you see, you seeing the reports. I'm getting the same report y'all getting. Philly is trying to trade AJ for Crosby. No, you shouldn't go away from your offense. You got 2 number 1s. Shit. Philly say, we are trying to get rid of that for a better trench. So let me go back to this though, because this boy, and listen, I only asked it at that point one question, and it took off like this. I asked it. This is still the same question, and then what it came down to is basically they made a big move later to sign Jalen Phillips, where they basically overpaid. Now this is what ChatGPT said in his summary. This is basically they tried committee, failed, went back to paying for edge. Oh shit. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. You know that, and so oh my God. Look at the takeaways. And I didn't ask for this. Y'all saw me ask one question. I did not ask for none of this. I just said, what did they do to replace Burns? I asked one question. This is their takeaway. Lose the lead edge, pass rush collapse. Oh no! Oh! Damn! That's the same thing Boss warning about. Replacement rotation doesn't work is the summary. Draft only is a problem because it's a slow rebuild. And then you will end up back at the original problem where you have to pay for a star. And I only asked it one question. So I said, hold on, wait. You know, I was like, damn, that was the first question. Shit, Chat GPT, damn. I said, all right, I got one more question for you. I said, how many years did Coach Evero coach Brian Burns? Like, damn. You know, and so they answered that question. It was basically 1 year. I said, how has Burns' sack production changed under Coach Evero versus before? And they went through some very good shit on that. Whoo, boy, they went crazy. I mean, talking about the Fangio system and how it's contained first, rush second, so it could limit sometimes a pass rusher, but at the same time, you still go need them. And they start also explaining how Coach Evero runs a Vic Fangio tree defense, which I already explained and I already showed. A too high safety, we know that. Light boxes, we know that. Edges must set the edge first, we know that. Let's all out pass rush. And so then they get into the Panthers had no second rusher. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Wow. So then I say, damn. I asked it another question. Now I'm finally up to about 4 questions. I'm like, damn, the computer agree with me. The computer agrees with my analysis. And then somebody said, Boss and Lou, they think they the smartest in the room. I mean, if we doing research, maybe we are on this, because we actually doing research. Somebody say a Chat GPT argument is crazy. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not, because it's based on facts. All you have to do is use this as a cross reference to real facts, and you'll see, okay, yeah, it's telling the truth. So I asked, who were the defensive people they drafted to replace Burns? And they showed it. Nick, I showed you the results of Nick. I showed you already. Yeah. Just like us. We're trusting in our second rounder. We're trusting it. Yeah, he's a premium pick. For somebody to be like trusting Chat GPT is crazy. That's almost like saying using your calculator is crazy. It's like, come on, bro. No, you use technology, bro. I'm sorry. Like, you know, this is what you do now. I'm sorry. This is the 21st century. But what you're supposed to do with this is also cross-reference this to make sure that it's true. So I already showed y'all these were the people. This was the plan. See, the plan that they did with somebody that's exactly like Parker. I showed y'all that they literally were talking exactly the same. In their initial press conference, they sounded like brothers. Same concept, same base defense, same nickel principles, same match principles. Everything was the same. The advantage that we have is we can go look at what's happening with him to make sure it don't happen to us. Will we take advantage? Let me slow down on that music, bro. Will we look at them to figure out what's smart for our guy? Or yeah, let's see. Okay. Listen. My brother said, and I'm going to address this serious. He said, I asked ChatGPT and he told me Seattle proved you can win with a 30 million edge rusher if you had a league's best defensive play. See, this is where we have to be serious, okay? We have to stop using the defense that's not in the mode of our defense while talking about our defense. Let me say that again. We need to stop talking about a defense that's not in the mode of our defense while talking about our defense. If we're really trying to have a serious conversation about what's best for ours, shouldn't we look? Angie asks, is that legit or sarcasm? It's sarcasm. He's being sarcastic. And that's that go-to. You know, Seattle is the go-to. That's the go-to for everybody. Look at Seattle. Go look at Seattle. Go look at Seattle. Look at Seattle. Look at Seattle. And it's like, look at your tree. Look at the people who run in a defense that's exactly like or in the massive family of what you're getting ready to do. See, Seattle has become the cheap way out. It's cheap. So then when we come in here with facts, references, history, it can become tribal where it's like, I'm just trying to win this argument, so I'm going to go back to my default. Look at Seattle! Look at Seattle! The concepts of Seattle is not the concepts of your Dallas Cowboys. And we have an advantage by being able to look at a guy who is suffering due to the lack of war daddy. It's true, Andrew, because you see it. Listen, everybody doing it. That's the common thing now. It's like, look at Seattle. It's the war cry to stay cheap. Like, for real. Look at Seattle. It's the Cowboy Nation's war cry to stay cheap. Look at Seattle. It's like millions of people with flags saying, look at Seattle. Let's go cheap. Look at Seattle. Let's go cheap. Look at Seattle. Let's go cheap. Boss, shut your mouth. Look at Seattle. Like, damn. How about we look at what's working for the tree? Let's go look at where the guys that's from the same tree, let's go look at how they moving. Let's go look at their systems. Oh, let's go look at Vic. What is Vic doing right now? Is he over here? Look at Seattle. No, he's saying F Seattle. He's saying F what Seattle doing. I'm trying to go get a lead dog. Go get me Micah. Go get me Crosby. What is the Jedi Master doing? Is he over here? Look at Seattle. Let's go cheap. Let's go. Come on. Let's go cheap. That's how we gonna win this motherfucker. I'm telling y'all, the cheap way is gonna work. And the saddest part is Jerry got the picks. He got the capital. The people don't want it. That's the worst part. Like, when you go look at what did they give away for Burns? A second rounder. A second rounder, dog. They gave away a second rounder. We want the picks. We want them picks. Them boys said, shit. New York said, man, here's this second. This guy is ascending. He has elite potential. He has not hit it yet. He kind of up and down. But shit, we see the traits. See, what is Lou and I saying right now? We got some guys. They got the traits. They up and down. Give up that third. Go get the dog. Go get the elite dog with the traits. Yeah. And guess who did that? New York. And guess what he over there doing? 16.5 sacks. And guess who wish they still had that? Him. Let's go cheap. Let's go cheap. Shut your mouth, Lou. Shut your mouth, boss. Let's go cheap. Yeah. Look, still pushing for cheap. And Josh Sweat, let him walk out the door after the Super Bowl. Let's tell the whole truth on that, sir. Let's tell the whole truth on that. You leaving some stuff out of that. Who had the most sacks in that Super Bowl when Mahomes was running for his life? Was it Carter, sir?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Was it Jordan Davis that had the most sacks?
Oh, hell no!
Well, who had the most sacks in that Super Bowl that was the key to them winning it? This guy. Let's go cheap. And listen, bro, listen, I'm doing my best. And listen, I'm going to sleep good at night. I'm going to sleep good at night. You know why? Because I know I told the truth and I gave as much accurate information as I can. I presented it like a 5-year-old could get it. I got all kind of evidence, side by sides, coaches talking exactly the same from the same tree, references proving that they from the same tree, proving that Vic Fangio also suffered when he didn't have a lead dog. See, let's not forget where this came from. This came from Brother Lou again. See, this is why people be saying, Boss and Lou think they the smartest in the room. It's because we actually doing research, bro. Like, for real. We not, like, winging it. Like, we didn't have a debate with Okoye and Foots for fun. That wasn't for clout. No. It was because we honestly believe we need a war daddy. And all you got to do is look at not Seattle. No, look at the tree that your coach is from. And listen to Brother Lou. Brother Lou is preaching. Christian Parker's foundation is, as Stephen Jones called it, Fangio with a twist. He didn't lie. History clearly shows this. Vic Fangio's system reaches its true ceiling when the 4-man rush wins. But who are we pushing for? The 2 men. We only want 1 man to win. Hey, but boss, we have Quentin Williams for pass rush. God damn, that's shit. You're fucking greedy, boss. Come on, boss. Boss, come on. You just want everything. Come on. Come on, boss. We have Quentin Williams. He's going to do all of the pass rush that you need. No. Anybody who knows Vic's system knows it's dependent upon 4-man winning. And this is why Lou clearly showed which matches what's happening with Burns. Don't this match what happened with Burns? What did we say? What did we say? Started with my brother Lou. The history of the system shows when you have a lead dog, your defense is usually at the top. And he went through all the history of when Fangio's defenses was at the top, and it was coupled when they had lead dog, usually edges. Sack guys. And just like Carolina, when they become a committee, his defense also suffers. So, we was talking to Okoye, and he said, man, what happened at Carolina was a one-off. Yeah, you can say that to that defensive coordinator. Right? You can say it was a one-off for him, but it's not a one-off to the tree. The tree has the same pattern. The tree, this is the pattern of the tree. When you give it a war daddy, it makes it go. That's what the pattern says. When you give Fangio with a twist a war daddy, the car cranks. Let me say that again with no music. When you give the Fangio system a war daddy, it makes the car go. And this is exactly so the pattern of what we seeing and what Lou presented is the exact same pattern we saw in the history of Carolina. And see, this is how I know y'all not being genuine. Because this is how you know when people playing games. Because he said, is the Panthers the only example? Now, raise your hand if y'all heard me clearly say and show that the Panthers is not the only example. Raise your hand if you saw me show right here that when it was a committee that the system of Fangio suffered. Raise your hand if I was clear as could be on that simple point. See, this is how you know with some people it's about trying to win an argument over what does the evidence say. Because if it was about what the evidence says, people would adapt to what the evidence is clearly showing. And like Rebel said, like he said, is there any other examples? You know why he want another example? Because that example that I used beat that ass. It beat the shit out that ass. And just like Rebel said, do y'all have any other examples outside of Seattle? Nope. They don't. They don't. Nah, he wasn't late coming in because he been talking the whole time, bro. He was talking right when I was explaining, fully explaining Lou's tweet, showing the history. He was there. He was right there. He just chose to ignore it. And then when you show them the truth and the facts, they'll say, you and Lou, y'all act like y'all the smartest in the room. It's like, no, bro, we just doing research, bro. And the research is backing. Thank you, George Boone. I'm so glad you said it. God damn, boy. I'm just so glad you said it, bro. Damn. Get sick of that. Look at Seattle. Okay, he said. My brother say he asked a question. He said, okay. He said, boss, maybe I didn't hear it last night. Who is the edge besides Crosby that you and Lou think would be exactly the piece? I guess, it depends on how many shows you miss, because we've done multiple shows showing multiple options. We've actually showed at this point over 10 options. see, this is how you know. This is how you know when they mad. Now, so you full of yourself. Oh, I'm full of myself now. I'm full of myself because I don't let you play with me. Okay. Because I don't let you play dumb and shit. You want me to talk all sweet while you fucking with me. You full of yourself, partner? Okay. Now, that's why I asked, can y'all raise y'all hand if y'all heard me clearly show that it was more than one example than the Panthers? I was clearly saying that, as you was clearly in the chat, because you've been going back and forth. You playing, and I'm not playing. This ain't no mental contest with me. This ain't no who's smarter, who's better at. I'm not talking about football, about trying to prove who know the most. I'm trying to get it right for Parker. That's all I want, is to get it right for Parker. Some of y'all want to win the debate. I just want to get it right for Parker and for the Cowboys. That's the difference between me and Lou and some of y'all. He's okay. Okay. He said some of us grown and can't watch every stream. Well, you going back and forth, grown up. If you at least going back and forth and typing, you should be listening. If you're doing all that typing, you should listen. Because I was clearly, as you was typing nonstop, clearly explaining that the Panthers weren't the only one. Mr. Grown Up. But I'm full of myself because I don't let you play with me. Okay. So he said, boss, you right. So why would Jerry do the same thing that he did with Dez? Help understand this dumb shit. I don't know what you mean with that question, bro. Explain that. And you ain't got to put a super chat on the next one because I want to understand you so I can answer your question. So anyway, I'm just letting y'all know, bro, I don't do this for no mental contest, bro. This ain't no mental contest on who the smartest person on the Cowboys. No. I don't put in all this research and I don't look at the history of what happened to coaches in similar systems for clout. I'm not doing that. I'm actually doing this work because I care about the Cowboys. I'm doing this work because you have two guys that's literally talking almost exactly the same. And we can use Coach Evero as a person to learn from. That's the whole point of this, is to say, okay, what did we learn? And what we actually learned is that Lou is right. When you even see, because Lou did the research based on Vic Fangio. Okay. So then Lou took it a step further and he said, man, and he told me this mad. He said, you know, he was mad because he cared about the team. He said, man, I'm finna go look at the tree. He said, I'm finna go look at Carolina. I said, man, that's a good idea. I need to go look at the tree too. Man. And then he came back. He started talking to me about that. Okay. He said he got rid of Dez to go with the wide. Oh, see. Yeah, bro. I get what you said. Oh, yeah. Let me show this. But he got rid of Dez to go with receiver by committee. Now he was doing it with defense. Bro, yes. Basically, yes. This is why some of us need to continue to fight for the war daddy. We could see last night that some people ain't gonna help us fight. I'm just telling you that right now. They go just reap the benefits of our fight, but they not gonna help us fight. Let me say that again. It's a lot of people that's gonna reap the benefits of us fighting, but they're not gonna help us fight. So just like when I was pushing for one tech, who was helping us fight? Who was helping us fight? See, the same people that'll say, stopping the run is how you win a championship. When I was over here like, we need to get serious about one tech, because if you look at the trend, when I was saying that in July, was they backing me up? Boss is right. We need to invest. No, they wasn't. They was doing just like they doing now. The exact same thing. Boss, you don't need all of that. What are they saying right now? When I'm trying to push for a war daddy, boss, you don't need all that. You don't need all of that. You don't need no one take, boss. You don't need no war daddy, boss. The Cowboys don't need that. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Yep. Yeah, it was only a handful, Rebel. But now, them same people talk as if they've been pushing for one tech this whole time. Y'all know I ain't lying either. Now it's, and it's like, what's wild what's wild is they using the argument that I created to devalue edge. So to answer my brother question, I've been talking about a lot of people outside of Crosby. It's a lot of people that I feel good about outside of Crosby. Obviously, I want Crosby because he's top tier, and a top tier premier edge would do more than other guys, but that's not the only thing I'm putting on the table. That's another thing they lie on us about. They act like we forcing Crosby down their throat, and that's not true. That's a lie. It's, you know, it's all kind of lies on the work that we do. All kind of lies. That's all y'all talk about. It's all you talk. No, that's not the truth, bro. There's literally nobody in the space that did more work on edges and showing them in the public like me, Lou, and Henny. Literally nobody. My brother say, we did pass rush by committee before with DeMarcus Ware left. Oh, shit. And George Boone say, boss, y'all schedule is brutal. Hey, that's why I'm fighting. That's why I'm fighting. So listen. Let me get down to it. Okay. All right, because everybody get the point. Hold on. Let me make sure I hit everything. That's I think I did. Yeah, I did. Now, this is when I knew chat was like, this is what tripped me out about chat. This was the last thing they said about that Burns situation. Look at what they said. Look at this. Football takeaway. And important for Cowboys talk. They said, boss, we recommend that you talk about this, basically. This is what ChatGPT told me. This is Evero's pattern. He lost Burns, tried committee, drafted multiple edges, no true war daddy.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
Did y'all see that? ChatGPT said it wasn't no war. I didn't ask ChatGPT shit about war daddy. I only asked it about Burns. And they said, to sum it up, what you need to tell everybody is their problem is they had no war daddy. Wow. Let me take this super chat. If that don't trip y'all out, I don't know what will. I'm like, damn, chat. So, I believe that Christian Parker has sold Jerry and Shotty that he can win by committee. Everything he's asked Jerry has got for him. I wouldn't bet on that, bro. Because, see, we have a history of overriding our coaches, bro. We do have a long history. Remember, Dan Quinn was trying to get who? For 2 years. Bobby Wagner. Did Jerry and them do it? No. And they did that to Dan Quinn after he led the defense to the number 1 defense in turnover differential. He was proven again, and they still said no. So we got to be very careful when we believe that Parker is getting what he wants. I don't believe Shotty even getting everything he want. Shotty made it clear what type of backs he want. He made it clear he didn't like blue. Who kept getting thrown out there? Blue. So now we got to keep our eyes on this. Like, we got to, you know what I'm saying? It could seem like it's Parker, but Parker done said too many times that the 2 most important things is stopping the run and getting after the quarterback. The fact that he said that is letting you know that there is a premium by Parker on getting a pass rusher. That's also why Parker said great players make great coaches. So I honestly believe it's up to us to be able to read the tea leaves and know how to get our coaches back, and then pressure front office to get the coaches what they lobbying for. Because Quinn was clearly lobbying for Bobby Wagner. We was over here praising LVE. I'm talking about fans and content creators. Why y'all hating on LVE? I'm like, bro, y'all heard Dan Quinn over here pushing for Bobby Wagner? Y'all heard? No, I like it. What's wrong with LVE? He's not Bobby Wagner. It's the same thing they doing now. What's wrong with Gary? He's not Sweat. He's not Thibodeau. He sure ain't Crosby. He's good, but we need more. Hey, let's lean on the young guys, boss. Hey, Donovan Ezeracco, he's going in year 2. So, listen, honestly, it can't be more clear. Let me show you the worst part. Y'all thought that was the worst part. This is the worst part. Let me show y'all something. Look at this. So 2023 was when Burns was there. Okay. They was ranked 27th. And he didn't ascend yet. Okay. Then you look at 2024. Okay. And they were 30th out of 32 teams. So they got worse without Burns. So let's keep in mind, this is the plan that a lot of Cowboy fans are pushing for. So then in 2025, guess what? They were still ranked at the bottom. Why is this important? What was I saying on the debate yesterday? Everybody that's pushing to be average, you might need that pass rusher. Because I know people putting out content saying stopping the run is the key to winning championships and pressures is overrated. Pass rush is over. See, pass rush is overrated until you need it. See, pass rush is overrated until you sit in a situation like this, where you're in the playoffs and the wild card. And when you're sitting in the playoffs and the wild card and it's the fourth quarter and you winning. You was winning 31-27. You was winning. And what happened? Let's see. Kickoff. Hold on. See, this is what I don't want my Cowboys to go through. Let's walk through it. Kickoff. The Rams had 2 minutes left. They're losing. If the defense can get them off the field, the Panthers move on. 7-yard what? Pass. Hold on. Ooh, the graphic. Oh, they gave me the graphic. I wasn't expecting that. Let me go back. See, I'm finna paint this picture. Listen, I'm getting it to where you can be all the way slow and you go get this. You can be. Let's go back to the fourth quarter. Hold on real quick. Where is that? Hold on. Damn, did I mess it up? I think I did. Let me go back. Oh, man, because I'm finna paint this picture. I'm finna paint this whole picture. Hold on real quick. Yeah, full Blake. Let me go to full play-by-play. Here it is. Because it's so funny, man. It's messed up. But this is what I don't want us to be. Sit in the playoffs with the lead, right? Hold on real quick. Sit in the playoffs with the lead. Let me click on it. Here we go. Watch this shit. This shit crazy. So, kicked off is 2 minutes left in the game. A 7-yard pass. Puka Nakua. A 10-yard what? Pass to Adams. A 6-yard pass to Adams. An 18-yard pass to Puka Nakua with a minute 36. Now it's a minute at 8. No huddle. Incomplete. Pass. I hope y'all understand why I'm emphasizing pass, right? Why do I keep emphasizing pass? What do you need right now to close out this game? Somebody that can get that quarterback on the ground. Somebody that can disrupt that quarterback and make him even run around. That might give us the play we need to win this game. It's a minute left in the game. You are the Panthers and you don't have Burns. You had him, you don't have him no more. He's over at the Giants with 16.5 sacks. This is the time you probably needed this guy. Because it was so many pass. And somebody say it was all quick passes. Not true. Nope. You ain't getting off no 18-yard pass quick. That's a drop back. 11-yard pass. And 19-yard pass. Deep right. Oh, if it's deep right, that means that quarterback had to drop. Touchdown pass. Panthers go home. Just turn me down, bro. Ain't nobody crying but you. But I'm going to emphasize for my show. So just turn me down. Use technology and turn me down. It's not that hard. What did I say to Okoye and Foots? What did I say? I say stopping the run matter until you need to stop them from a game-winning drive. Now we need them pass rushers. Now we need them pass rushers. See, if we had them pass rushers, maybe if y'all would have kept Burns, your record is likely not 8-9. Y'all definitely ain't last in the league. So let's now go back and think about what Cowboy fans are asking for. Cowboy fans are asking to be Carolina. There's a blueprint for Fangio and Parker. Will we follow it? To be honest, I don't think we will. I'm watching the tone of Cowboy Nation. We want this. This is what we want. I'm watching the tone. Rebel, this is what we want. We want edge by committee, and we want to do what the Panthers did. We want to rely on our one tech to do all the work. Because they dope at stopping a run. Well, we'll say don't group us like that. That's them over there. Hopefully I ain't sound like. But man, listen, there's a lot of Cowboy Nation want this, bro. They want to be the Panthers. Bro. Yeah. This is true though. This is true. But bro, say people really relying on Gary. I'm in tears. Bro, this is true. This is true. And it's worse. They saying not only are they relying on Gary, they saying shut up, Boss and Lou. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth on trying to get a war daddy. We don't need it. Shut your mouth. But this is what we're asking for. But this is also why I'm going to sleep good at night regardless of whatever happened. Because I'm going to be able to say, you know what? I did everything I could to make it as clear as possible. I did everything I could to make it to where a kid could understand it. You know, and I would just say this. Let's get out of the Seattle mind state because we don't run Seattle's defense. So we shouldn't even be talking about that, to be honest. We don't run a 4-3. We don't even have Seattle's talent. We're not even at their talent level to even talk as if they are the expectation. We're not up to them yet. You know what the expectation right now Dallas fans are saying? It's a super low bar. You know what the bar is? We're better. Ooh. Let me say that again. You know what the bar is for Dallas? You telling me we not better, boss? That's what we was going back and forth about yesterday. You saying we not better? I'm like, yeah. On the back end. On the back end, I believe we better. I'm not sold we better at getting after the quarterback. I'm not. Not when Clowney was better than Gary, and now you don't have Clowney. Clowney did, in terms of tackle for loss and almost sacks, he did what Gary did and almost half. He didn't even have close to the same amount of snaps. But I'm supposed to be, we're better because we can stop the run. And see, that's why talking about stopping the run never made sense to me yesterday. Because it's like, why are we even talking about that? We were stopping the run last year. Like, people talk like we hit a new level because of Gary on stopping the run. It's like, no, we could be about the same. We was already good at that. We suck at getting after the quarterback. That's where we trash. And we could end up like the Panthers on a game-winning drive, and you don't have the talent to stop them. So this is clear. You can't be more clear than this. There's a blueprint. It's a clear blueprint. I'm talking about it's clear, bro. I'm going to play this one more time so you can see how clear these guys are aligned. And then I'm going to sum it up. But I need y'all to really listen to how much they are aligned. Listen, I'm not going to even play the music. I want you to listen to Parker and Coach Evero. Listen, and now remember, this was Parker's DC when he was at Denver. Both of them are of Fangio. Both of them are using Fangio's system. Listen.
Yesterday they were saying, Frank was saying that you guys will run a 3-4. What have you seen in this roster, and what pieces do you see being moved, and most importantly, how will you use someone like Jeremy Chin?
I think foundationally, Vic Vance, Mike Pettin, Coach Elko, Ejiro Evero all came out of a 3-4 structure. I think that once you get past that, from the fronts you build and the coverages you do and the personality on third down, red zone, you definitely have a mentality as a play caller, but I think that it's still going to be designed around the players that you have.
So with that said, how important is the nickel position now in this modern day NFL?
Oh, it's critical. It's critical. Because that's a guy that is, it's got to be a coverage guy, obviously, matching receivers. He's got to be able to play in the run game. The way that people are jet motion and stuff like that, he becomes a linebacker pretty quickly, and so very important position.
You've had pretty talented nickels at most of your spots in the NFL. How important is that piece to you?
Very important. Yeah, very important. That guy, he's a corner sometimes, he's a safety sometimes, he's a backer sometimes, he's a defensive end when he's blitzing. You want to have a guy who has natural instincts.
That's amazing. Like, it's just this is both of their first press conferences, bro. They saying the exact same things, bro. That's crazy.
Ability to feel the game and play football.
It's
usually
crazy.
A guy who, if you were playing football on a Saturday afternoon in the neighborhood, he's your first round draft pick, just because he feels the game naturally.
Said the exact same thing. He got to be a linebacker. He got to be a cover. They said the same thing.
So, that's definitely an important dynamic of the defense.
Gene.
Ejiro with Panthers.com. You've mentioned
Now, matching scheme to players. Watch this.
a lot about kind of, matching the scheme to the players versus the players to the scheme. Can you kind of take me through your balancing act there? Are you kind of focused on making the players fit, making the scheme fit the players? Just kind of take me through that.
Yeah, so like when you first come in and you take the job, it's my job, it's the defensive coach's jobs, working along with the personnel people. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we really understand what all of these players do well, and they're at this level, they're on this team because they have certain skill sets that are very good, and we want to figure that out. And as we put our defense together, obviously there's going to be a framework from where we start off at in terms of what we've done in the past in Denver, but at the end of the day, it's like we're not going to ever ask guys to do things they can't do well.
I'm talking about him and this is both their first press conference as defensive coordinators of this team. And they sound exactly the same. You can literally just put a mask on one and give it to the other, and you'll be like, oh, yeah.
So.
And then are you more of a guy that falls under the line of thinking of building a scheme around the players or acquiring players to fit the scheme?
I think you build it around the players. Of course, you want to have your core principles and foundational beliefs.
Yep, said the same thing. Your core principles, foundational beliefs. But you want to design around players you have. Literally saying the same thing. Literally saying the same thing, bro. It's like a mirror image of the press conference.
But as you kind of move forward in the process, what do your guys do well? How can you put good players in highlighted positions? How can you create one-on-ones for certain guys? How you can protect certain guys? If we can win on blitzes on a running back, then we're going to blitz a lot. If we got good man-to-man corners, we're going to play man. If we have guys that are better with zone vision, we're going to play more zone. So, you want to build a package that has diversity and scheme, and then you want to, tailor it to the players that you have.
He said the same thing.
And, of course, there are schematic fits, but I think the really good players are the ones that you can't peg them in a certain scheme, and that's the only way they can play football.
Diving a little bit deeper into that.
Now, this is talking about multiple.
Your scheme. Can you tell me a little bit about it and how it's going to fit with this Panthers team?
Yeah, we'll be a base 3-4 defense. We'll be multiple in our sub packages. But at the end of the day, it's like I never want to come into a situation and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. I always want to have the mindset of these are the players that we have. What do they do well? And kind of work from that direction. So.
Same thing Parker's saying. Same thing he's saying.
For Christian, obviously everyone wants to know what kind of defense do you want to bring to the Cowboys?
Well, the first thing is we're going to be multiple. I think that whenever you form a defensive structure, it's about the players that you have. So core principles, we'll be a 3-4 by nature, but 4-3 spacing will be appropriate, 4-2-5 in nickel, different front structures, coverages behind it. But I would say being multiple is probably the most important thing about it.
The front end, but what you start learning is that the scheme is a big part of it, but so much of it is just organizing, right? You're organizing your staff, you're organizing the players, you're responsible for the entire defense, and so.
There go Parker right there. Look at Parker working. Look at young Parker. Young Parker was paying his dues. I froze it right. Look, see, ain't that dope, bruh? Look at young Parker was paying his dues, bruh. Young Parker. Now he's sitting in the driver's seat. We got to take care of Parker. I think we got to fight for what Parker really need. Young Parker was paying his dues. He was clearly listening to this guy. And I love what you just said, Sticky. My brother Sticky said, boss, I'm tired of raise the floor. We want to be better. Oh, I'm so tired of that too. But boss, we're better. Listen, bragging about being better from last place, that doesn't excite me. I'm sorry. It doesn't excite me. I want us to aim higher. That's what Sticky point is. That's what Sticky's saying. Sadly, Sticky is going to be fought because he wants better. It's going to be millions of Cowboy fans that's going to say, look at Seattle. We want cheap. Look at their model. Now they're 4-3. We're 3-4. But hey, who gives a fuck about the details? Who cares? Just look at Seattle. They're cheap. Let's do that. You say, nah, don't do that. Nah. You was open to take a first and a second for Crosby. Shit. Burns went for a second. Go see if they might take that for Sweat. See if they'll take next year a second. You keep the 2 first this year. Oh no, boss, we want the picks. We want all the picks, boss. We want all the picks. You know, we usually fumble on the second round. But boss, we really want the picks. They was willing to give away a first and a second for Crosby. Damn. Okay. I'm going to compromise with you. What about a third? What about a third for Kayvon Thibodeau? You just got a third for Osa that you didn't have. Let's do what New York did, where they took advantage of the Panthers. That's what they did. They gave them a second for a rising guy who didn't quite hit his peak yet. And now he's peaking out and he got 16 sacks. Let's try that. No, boss, I want the third too, boss. Let's just trust the committee, boss. Let's be like Seattle. My answer to that is,
oh, hell no.
I don't want to be average. There's now, if you paid attention to this presentation where it was full of documentation, there's truly a blueprint. The question is, are we willing to follow the blueprint, or are we trying to be cheap? Are we believing in something that's not even real? Are we believing in edges not mattering? Are we now believing pass rush don't matter? Sacks, hitting a quarterback and making them feel pain is, that's kind of overrated. Wait, hitting a quarterback is overrated? Yeah, it's overrated. Wait, let me make sure I understand what you're saying. You're saying hitting the quarterback with the ball in their hand is overrated. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Wait, so a defensive lineman hitting physically the quarterback who go likely see ghosts after getting hit hard from a sack. Oh yeah, it don't matter. That's where Cowboy Nation is now. He say literally nobody said that. You're a damn lie. You're a damn lie. Go look at Okoye thumbnails. What you talking about? Be lying, bruh. His thumbnail literally says pressure's overrated. What the fuck, bro? God damn. You can read it. You can literally go read it. So like, listen, bro. This ain't no trying to be right shit, bro. At all. People are saying this stuff, bro. And I ain't calling out my brother. That's my homie. But say I ain't gonna let you come in here and lie. Like people ain't saying that. Literally nobody said that. You lying that. You been lying all day, bro. God damn. You a damn liar. Been lying all day. Shit. Oh, I don't watch him. Then why the fuck you saying nobody's saying it? Like I'm making shit up. Oh, I don't watch him. Lying ass. You was in the chat yesterday. Rooting on Okoye. Go, Okoye! Go! Whoop that ass! Whoop Lou and Boss! Take it to their ass. Take it to their ass. Get their ass. I'm tired of those uppity guys. They think they're smart. Take it to their ass. Yeah, you was up in there. Oh, I don't watch. Fucking liar, dog. Like some of y'all just not serious, bro. That's what it come down to. Some of y'all, this is like a battle of wits. Like this ain't about what's best for your team. This is about I'm finna try to show I'm smarter than Lou. I'm gonna try to show I'm smarter than Boss. With some of y'all, it's that type of weird shit going on. And me and Lou not even on that. We ain't on that at all. I ain't talking about you. My brother said I missed the show yesterday. I ain't talking about you, bro. Gas Blunts was in there. His ass was in there. Get his ass! Yeah! Go, Foots! Go! Go, Okoye! Yay! Good punch, Okoye! Good one! Woo! Okoye is schooling them. It's like, listen, bro. All of us admitted it was a good conversation. Like, me and Okoye walked out like, listen, we probably didn't convince nobody. Right? We walked out like dapped each other up, like good box. You know, we gonna have to get to the film, right? But people was in there like, ooh, ooh, gas blunts was in there, ooh, 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 go, Foots, go, Foots, go, Foots, go, Foots, go, Foots, go, Foots, go, Koye. I hate Lou. I hate boss. Boy, some of y'all need to chill out, man. We just trying to win. We don't care about that. Yeah. Say, A64, you don't think I saw his ass over there cheerleading? Go, Foots! Go, Okoye! That boy was cheerleading his ass off. That boy was in there with pom-poms. Go, Foots! F-O-O-T-S! Foots! Yay! Foots! These whole asses! That boy was in there. That boy was in there. A-K-O-Y-E! Okoye! Go! Okoye!
What the fuck is that?
What
the fuck is that?
Oh, man. All right, man. Listen, I had fun. Bro, that dude had me rolling. Listen, man, if y'all like, I probably ain't gonna do no more content today. I was, because I do want to get to the film. I'm gonna call Lewis if he want to do some film a little later. Because I do want to get to the film. I do. It's a lot of film people we need to look at. I need to look at AJ Espinosa. I need to go really take a closer look at Sweat, because I do. Listen, y'all. Listen. I do take Okoye serious. Like, if Koye say something, I'm gonna double check. Like, because he don't fumble generally on film. He doesn't. So, you know, he made some strong statements about Sweat versus Gary. And I take a look because I do respect him. I do. Like, so I did want to do that. You know what I'm saying? My boy say, nah, boss, OT. I don't know, bro. I put a lot of time on content today, bro. So I might need to chill today. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't kind of feeling it, you know. But this the one, y'all. This the one. Make sure y'all share this one if y'all appreciate contents like this. Because listen, this took a lot of research, bro. Like, for real. I really want y'all to understand. When you looking at two different coaches and you got to go research their press conferences, their visions, the way that they implement their defenses, and you really trying to crack the code, bro, we don't just turn this shit on and start talking. Like, this take a lot of work before we talk. It's like hours before I talk. So I've been talking now hours, but I put probably double the time in research. Like, for real, bro, these clips don't make theyself. This shit don't cut up itself. And that's why I really do appreciate y'all super chats. I really do. That'll put a little bit of motivation in me, especially if you're saying you want me to come back later. Shit, help me get some motivation, because promise you, doing all this research, looking at the differences and the similarities between the trees, oh yeah, it's a lot of work, brother. Believe me. Like, some people turn on that camera and just start talking. I don't. And I'm gonna say, damn, we need round two. I'm gonna work on it, because I want round two. Let me tell you one of the funniest and dopest things that's happening right now. Boy, if you want to laugh your ass off, go to Twitter and watch Okoye and Lou going at it. Boy, they having a clip war that is so funny, bro. Like, listen, bro, I was laughing so hard at Okoye and Lou going at it on Twitter, bro. I promise you, my neck started hurting. I was laughing so hard, bro, at them going at each other. But I'm talking about, I was crying. They having an outright clip war, and it is so funny. They showing clips and they going at each other. Boy, that shit is funny. It's the funniest shit going on right now. I promise y'all. It did. Rebel say y'all need to come back. I'm gonna try. Let me just take a break. Let me go, sip on something, smoke on something. You know how I go. And then see how I feel. You feel me? But listen, y'all. This the one though. Like, this the one that really showed me that we really do need a war daddy. Especially when you go look at the tree. And you look at that, that's the wisdom in this show. The wisdom in this show is that we can actually go look at somebody that's already 3 years ahead of Parker in terms of being a Fangio disciple. Let's not allow Parker to fall down a trap that a guy already fell in. Would that be wise? Huh? Would that be wise? Let me say that again. Let's not let our guy fall down a trap that another one of the disciples already fell down. That would not be wise. Let's learn from his mistake. Let's learn from the mistake that they made when they didn't prioritize their war daddy. So, it's your boy Boss Show Me. If you like content like this, make sure you hit that like and subscribe to this channel. I absolutely do my best to try to give y'all the best information, the most receipts, and to show you. I don't like to talk. I like to show you. I like to show you the facts. So, until the next time, until the next live, until the next video, I'm out. I'm gonna try to come back, man. Let me get on the phone. Let me see what they talking about. If they crunk about it, I'm gonna be crunk. Because we do need to get to that film. I would love that too. Y'all take it easy. Love y'all.